You've seen us celebrate their annual best restaurants list. You've seen us celebrate those included on their annual top 40 under 40 list. Of course, we've talked to their edifiers, to their innovators. This is a magazine that, of course, keeps people in Edmonton and the Metro Edmonton region in the know. It keeps us curious. It keeps us informed. There's a bit of a different angle to their newest issue, which you can, of course, check online, and we'll be showing you their website through the course of this conversation. But I wanted to welcome the publisher of Edify into our studio. It's Trudy Callaghan, a wonderful friend of mine. You've been an inspiration in the business of independent production, and it's nice to have you here making your on-air debut on Real Talk.
Oh my goodness, good morning. This is not my comfort zone.
I know it's not. I was saying off the top of the show, you're the one behind the scenes.
Yes, I am.
You're the one hiring and providing the inspiration and empowering your editors and your art directors and your photographers and your contributors. And you're the one that's been keeping this afloat. You've been in the publishing business for how long? Well over 20 years.
2006.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I published my first magazine in grade 3 on a Gestetner. So, it's been a while.
When you publish, I think now 7 issues a year. You put about 30,000 issues on newsstands, and I always love sending you photos when I'm out and about at grocery stores and liquor stores and mortgage brokers' offices of empty racks. I know you don't love to see them completely empty. You'd love to get more out there, but people are picking them up. There's no doubt that this magazine is popular in Edmonton, but you've hit a point that's well, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve right now with this publisher's note.
Yeah, I sure am. So I want to go back to the notion of the 30, it's actually 35,000 that are picked up on 500 different stands throughout Edmonton for free. And, sometimes media buyers say, well, no one reads print anymore. Well, I want to say that that's not true, because 35,000 magazines just disappear. So people choose to walk over to a stand and pick one up and take it home with them. I'm pretty sure they're not doing that to simply throw it away. They're reading it. We know they're reading it because they tell us they read it. Advertising has always historically fueled content, fueled journalism. That's how it works. That's not happening as much anymore. And so now what we're seeing in our world, in the magazine world, is that readers need to fuel that as well. So you called it an SOS. It's certainly not a white flag. But over the years, we've seen businesses that do go down, that are spiraling down, and they don't tell the truth about what's going on. And I said, I'm going to tell the truth. I am going to wear my heart on my sleeve. I am going to say, hey, I don't want to have you see this magazine disappear and then have you say, oh, if I'd known, I would have done something about it. I'm saying do something about it. If you love Edify, buy a subscription.
You could assert that you're the biggest booster of arts and culture in Edmonton, I would say, and your track record speaks for itself. I mean, you just even look at the application process for Top 40 Under 40. People really give a rip, for someone to achieve that honor, to be named a Top 40 Under 40, you see it. And we're talking about some of the real movers and shakers in their 20s and 30s. That alone speaks for itself to the value of the credibility of the brand. You write, Edify is a trusted brand. We write and publish fact-checked stories with the journalistic principles of authenticity and accuracy because, like you said here, it's essential for democracy. You say city magazines are like connective tissue. They capture the zeitgeist of the community and bring the city together. Why did you italicize fact-checked?
Because, wow, I mean, in an influencer economy, that's not fact-checked. So fact-checking is a journalistic process. And it's interesting because sometimes people are annoyed with some of our editors when they call back to fact check. They don't understand. They think, well, I've already done this. But yeah, we're fact checking. Did you actually say that? Is this how you spell your name? Is this your position? Is this what you said? They don't get to read it. Of course, there's some misunderstanding around what fact checking is. No, this is editorial. You don't get to read it. But we do make sure that the facts are correct in the story.
A lot of people are talking about Bill C-18 and the Online News Act and kind of the federal government's, what do you want to call it? Like a stare down with Meta, with Facebook, basically. And we're going to be talking to Linda Solomon, the publisher of Canada's National Observer, coming up next week. We're off. We'll be talking to her the week after. Is C-18 impacting you directly? Is this, obviously it's a story that I'm sure you're keeping an eye on, but is it relevant to what you're doing at Edify?
Yes and no. I mean, it's certainly the big publishers that for whom this matters the most. And we're not news. We don't really do the news. We do that behind the scenes. So I have a new digital magazine, Urban Affairs, urbanaffairs.ca, Urban AF, as we like to call it.
By the way, the branding's amazing.
Yeah. So, the thing is about C18 is it's about intellectual property and who owns it. So we're talking about this in the AI world as well. So what's been happening is that publishers have not really been paid for the story. So the publishers are paying the journalists, and then that's basically being ripped off from the publishers and ending up on these big social media platforms.
And then they're monetizing it. Yeah. So they're aggregating it, but they're not producing it. So the publishers need to be paid. And that's what that's really about. It's a symbiotic. It's kind of symbiotic. I mean, certainly if you're starting a new magazine, how would you ever tell people that you exist if it weren't for social media? So I liken it to the paparazzi and celebrities. So they kind of need one another. You're not really a celebrity unless the paparazzi's following you. And yet you can get to a point where the paparazzi is kind of hurting you or is hurting you, as we've seen with the royal family and, all of that. I was just thinking of them.
Yeah. So it's not, there's no simple answer to a complex problem. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, as my mother used to say. Let's not jump all over everything that's brand new and forget that small traditional publishers like me, I mean, we have significant digital presence as well, but print matters. Print is important. You remember print. It sits on your coffee table. You lay in your bathtub and read the magazine, or you lay on the lounge chair at the cabin or cottage or whatever you call it, or wherever you go. That's what this is about.